again, I can run Firefox on Clipper from remote, or whatever I really want to do. Reset my connection. Set up a new server here, and I'll show you another trick we can do. So this time, if I don't want to run the full GNOME session, really on a slow machine, or you're using a netbook, one of my favorites is the Twin Window Manager, which doesn't seem to be working. Oh, I can't open that. I thought we had the KDE thing installed. Well, one of my other favorites, we'll do it this way. One of my other favorites is XFCE. So instead of doing the GNOME session, we'll do an XFCE4 session. And in many respects, I like this display manager almost better than GNOME. It's very lightweight. Most of the same stuff is there. But it's a little bit faster. So again, you can do this from home and you can run all of your applications remotely. And that's using VNC. If you have a Mac, Macs don't come with VNC built in. They do come, you can download Chicken of the VNC, which is the VNC display client that I've always used. Ironically, Macs do come with a VNC server, so you can display your Mac remotely. You can log into mine. But I can do another one. So when you get Mac ports, you can choose to install it. I always just put Mac ports in, so if you have Windows, there's a nice VNC client for Windows too. I think there's even a VNC server for Windows. A lot of these go to my PC kind of programs that let you run a program on Windows, like see your desktop from remote, but they're really doing a VNC thing under remote. So you can kind of do it on your own if you use VNC. Questions about that? So the one thing we've got to figure out is to see if we can make the Macs in 165 do this. We can do Mac remote desktop with whoever's on the desktop. If you're remotely or sitting there, you see the same desktop. So if you were to connect remotely into one of the Macs from here, then somebody sitting there is going to see what you're doing, or you will connect in and see what they're doing. That's not how when I'm using these remote desktops, I'm actually getting a whole new display environment. The person sitting at the machine won't even know that I'm doing it, which is totally cool. Any questions? Yes?
Will that slow down the machine if two people are using it at once?
Sure. It's just like if you run any kind of application, if you're sharing the processor. But when you look at like those iMacs, there are 4 processor machines. They're almost always idle. They have 8 gig of RAM, and unless you're really totally crazy, that's almost always free. I mean, those machines are bigger than we usually use for a daily basis. These machines are showing their age finally. These are only 2 processor machines, 4 gig of RAM. So, you know, if you have someone running a virtual machine, you have somebody else remote in and do a virtual machine, then you sort of see all of that. But mostly that's the fault of Windows, because you have to allocate so much memory to the Windows virtual machine that it steals away. I think we forget how much stuff you can do on a single machine. We have a machine called Cutter, which is a Linux machine. It's one of the oldest, well, Cutter goes back in various forms, various hardware, and various operating systems. When I was a student here in 1993, and it's been running Linux ever since. It started off as a 46 33 megahertz machine. And on that 46 33 megahertz machine with an amazing 8 megabytes MB of RAM, it was the mail server for initially the computer science department, and then because the only alternative mail server for campus was a VAX VMS machine, it would either have a nice Pine interface, go Wikipedia Pine, kind of cool mail system back in the day. No, we used Elm then, I'm sorry. The first version was Elm, because Pine stands for Pine is not Elm. Anyway, it was either use the graphical, semi-graphical Elm, or use the VAX mail client where it wasn't graphical at all. It was literally a line-by-line kind of thing. If you needed to edit your document, you had to know how to edit something in VMS by hand. Terrible. So we had 700 user accounts on Cutter. The first year we ran, and over a weekend it would be uncommon to see 50 or 60 people log into Cutter, all running Elm and all running programs on a 33 megahertz machine with a single hard drive and 8 megs of RAM. To put that in perspective now, your processor has more memory on board than that system had total. Most computers today have more memory in the RAM than that computer had in hard drive space. So times have changed. You can certainly do a lot of stuff with the command line without having the crux of fancy graphical user interfaces and spinning icons and bouncing 3D docs that reflect what's behind them, all kinds of stupid things that we don't really need. Although, admittedly, we make things look great. But you pay a lot of money for iCam. Anybody know how these terminals work? Like, when I SSH into a machine, and you see stuff like changing color. Mine's still here. This is the old way of reading email. Oh, it's Alpine now. Yeah, it's been updated. If you want to look at your inbox, I need my inbox. We can compose a new message. Sure, you can create a folder. I mean, that's how we used to send email. But you know how all that kind of graphical terminal stuff works? I mean, it's all nice to have these things. The text console, so we can find a T102. want to send out commands to your terminal window to make it do things like clear the screen, we have these things called escape sequences. You send the escape character followed by whatever the command sequence is. I'm hoping that they'll tell us the standard. Okay, so for example, if you want to turn on smooth scrolling, you could send the escape character, the left brace, a question mark, the number 4, and the letter H. And if the receiver is speaking the VT100 protocol, then it's either going to say, okay, we're going to turn on smooth scrolling because I understand what that means, or it's just not going to display it at all. If you want to move the cursor around on the screen and you send an escape left bracket, the number of lines you want to go up, and then the capital letter A. And that would move the cursor up that number of lines, or down, or left, or up. To clear the line, or what's that?
I've seen that on some of these people. You get some places do the arrow keys if you want to hit your last command, and then puts slash bracket 1A.
Yeah. Because it's sending these escape keys back and forth. Turn on one of the 4 LEDs on the keyboard. Back then they had 4 LEDs instead of 3. This isn't the full standard. In the full standard, they did some really crazy things. Back in the 80s and the 90s, the big thing was to display forms. And so there was a whole language for displaying a form and then protecting the screen, so that you could then clear the screen and the form contents would stay on the screen. I mean, all kinds of weird kinds of things. But that's what predated all of this graphical stuff. So back in the 70s, they invented this way of sending out these special commands, having the terminal hardware say, oh, you just gave me an escape left bracket C. So I'm going to send back to you what kind of terminal type I am. So it'll actually print back out to the sender what the response type is, or I want to move the screen or clear the screen or whatever you're going to do. It's fun. If you mess around, you can write these into like a little Java program. You can have your Java program actually print these things out. If you run it on the command line from Clipper, or even a C program from Clipper, you can actually make a full text window screen that you can clear and display. You can actually interrogate it to find out how big it is and all kinds of crazy stuff. But then all of that was the kind of designing factor that led to, well, instead of sending escape 5N for device status report, let's start sending binary data. Let's not just send characters, let's send binary data.